Hi, welcome to this week's e-letter, where we'll be looking at a week of trading profits and losses, because I live in the real world where it's not all roses, it's not all green, green, green. You do have to manage losing positions as best you can. Solid week of trading profits. We're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a look at the new look Champions League as well, which has been an absolute trader's dream. I'll talk you through that when we're looking at the trading profits for the week. And an upcoming preview of the weekend's football. And what I've immediately noticed is there's a lot of derbies, or derby-style matches as I call them. Manchester United-Chelsea, for example, is a derby-style match. We have Liverpool-Everton, that's a geographical derby. In all of these derbies or derby-style matches could be something as simple as a top three clash, where the two sides are too well matched. I would recommend, as a trader, you treat them very carefully because there's no form lines at all. And then we'll finish it off with an AI breakthrough, and members will be getting a look at the reports from this AI breakthrough I've had. Very exciting because the accuracy is there, which I like, and I've trained it to reason its conclusions as well. So you've got a backbone of evidence to back up the conclusions, which is not normally what AI will do. So I'm very excited by it. I've really enjoyed reading the previews, even in matches like Ghent and Dender this evening. So it's very exciting. It means I can open up a whole new avenue of leagues to you as well, which will have high-class research done, covering every angle. First things first, let's have a look at the solid week of trading profits. So I'll walk you through some of the plays. This is real Betfair, real money. Al Hadi and Al Abu Dhabi. Now, this week, what I've learnt is that the AFC Champions League is very tradable, particularly when you've got the following scenario. Got a very, very strong home favourite. That's all you need. Preferably from the UAE or from Qatar. So I'll talk you through that. Al Wadi fit the bill. And what I've been experimenting with this week is to split my stakes and go into two markets. So I go into the +1 market as well as the match odds market. So I overload on covering the win and the draw. So we've got 2 out of 3 outcomes covered. If the match ends in a draw, we will at least take a profit. Because you saw the week before, I was siphoning out profit after profit by making small losses on the draw, waiting for the win. So that solves that, but it doubles your stake. So that has to be accounted for. So Al Wadi, AFC Champions League, was one of my major profit makers. I couldn't pass it on to you because it was on something like 10, 11 a.m. in the morning. Al Ali, you can see it's well worth a visit, isn't it? And this, again, this was a 1.14 shot, I think, Al Ali, if I'm right, because they played twice. I think I got involved twice. They went 2 goals down. They follow the formula for the AFC Champions League. Odds on at home, very strongly fancied from a very rich country. Concede first, concede second, go back and win. Helped out by a large chunk of extra time. Fabulous stuff. Tractor. If you love your tractors, well, Al Ali UAE against Tractor. That was another profit from the AFC Champions League. So that's just something to tell you. You can trade any market as long as it's liquid. And I think the in-play stats are vitally important as well. Just having a quick wander through. Half-time score markets. So it's quite successful on those this week. Preempting a goal before half-time in the AIK match, you can see that I load it up on 2-0. Any unquoted. Keep my liability to a tenner, which I can afford to lose. Come out with the green screen, get my tenner back. Lovely job. Again, in-play stats, vitally important. Hacken and Gothenburg. This is all about getting out because I backed Hacken +1 loss in the final end of the match. Backed Hacken to win. They didn't win. Gothenburg won. but I cashed out at the 1-1. Trading is about the hint and not the outcome. Don't forget that. You don't have to call the win. You're anticipating the next movement in the odds. Espanyol and Mallorca, £60 on the draw. And again, I think I went Mallorca +1 here, or it must have been Mallorca +1. Again, a losing bet backing Mallorca +1, but a winning trade because I cashed out and it ended up, I think, with the 10-man Espanyol getting the win. So you can never put your eggs in one basket, is it? Don't expect 11 players to win against 10. That's what I'm trying to get through. That preempts any upsets late on. Once you've greened up, you don't have to worry. Another AFC Champions League profit +1. You can see I doubled my stakes this week. My stakes are normally £40, but as my betting bank has been growing this week, I can increase my stakes. It does increase your liability, of course, so the step down is a big one, but the step up is also a big one. Under 19s with the Champions League, some of these under 19 matches are available to trade, and they can be very readable, as you can see here. Marseille scoring first. And again, I repeat, this is all down to the in-play stats. MK Dons and West Ham, keep your liabilities low. Laid West Ham, I think, 1-3 up. MK Dons looked as if they could make it 2-3. But get involved, keep your liabilities as low as possible. Juve and Dortmund. This was a 1.02 lay, which is equivalent to a 50-1 return. So my liability here was something like £2.30, £2.40. 2-4 to Dortmund. Coming to the end of this Champions League match, what did I do? I laid Dortmund. Why? Because at the weekend it was 4-3 Juventus against Inter Milan, i.e. they have goals in the locker. What an amazing end. This was a throwaway lay. I didn't even bother watching the match. Woke up to this. Unbelievable, Jeff. £92 from a £2.30 liability. That's the beauty of trading. The Champions League has been excellent this week. Real Madrid doing the usual against Marseille. Even down to 10 men, I didn't cash out of the 1-1. These are must-win territories. 2 penalties. So job done. Olympiacos and Paphos. I went in big here. 0-0, 1-0, 2-0. Anyone quoted against 10 men. Ended 0-0. I made 2p profit. Fenerbahce, usual trade. Ingolstadt, watch out for these matches. Draw at half-time, and one of the teams have a red card. Lay that draw second half. I didn't get on because of the lack of liquidity, which was a pity, because Ingolstadt went on and scored 3 second-half goals. Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, another amazing win there. I have had losses this week, but as you can see, I'd probably delete them. Club Brugge and Monaco, this was last night. Again, getting involved in a half-time score market. Copenhagen and Leverkusen, doubling up here. I tried to get a 74 quid profit on Leverkusen yesterday, but they didn't get the winner, so I only made that small loss. Made a break even on the draw, waiting for 74 quid. Sporting Lisbon, I couldn't find any value, apart from to back over 2.5 goals in the first half goals market. Small liability, didn't come off. I have had some losses this week, as you know. Hermannstadt, we've had a couple of other losses as well. So I am honest about those. And you can see my last Friday was a loss. Even last Saturday, I think, was a loss for me. So let's have a look at the new... Well, you've had a look at the new Champions League. You can see it's a trader's dream. Because of the league phase, these matches turn into must-wins on each occasion. And we've had comebacks from behind. I gave you Sparta Prague the other day. I didn't give you that Dortmund one, alas, because that was very late in the evening. We've had lots and lots of comebacks. We had them yesterday as well. Copenhagen match. It is an excellent competition to trade, the Champions League. This week, let's have a look at what's coming up this weekend. What you're going to notice this week is a lot of derbies or derby-style matches, which does make trading very difficult. Liverpool, Everton, 1. West Ham, Crystal Palace, another London derby. Manchester United and Chelsea is a derby-style match. Top sides clashing. The market can't predict the winner. Neither can I. Fulham and Brentford, a London derby. You can already see 4 derbies in the Premier League make it very difficult for me to do any proper trading. Do watch out for derbies. You had Southampton playing a South Coast side last week. That's a kind of a derby style match. You'll have geographical derbies if you know your geography in France, for example. So do watch out, because these can be very difficult matches to unpack. It's just something I've noted, particularly in the Premier League this week, the derby element. We had them last week as well. When you have matches like PSV v20, they can be very difficult to unpack. Benfica against Porto, if that occurs. Benfica Braga, Porto, Sporting Lisbon, those are derbies. So do watch out for those. Before I go, I think I've made a breakthrough with AI. I have been tinkering with AI as an aid, and this is the best I've come up with so far. What this AI will do, it can eat any match you give it and produce what for me is a quite excellent pre-match analysis. I haven't tried the in-play yet. I did try it yesterday on the Barcelona match, and it gave over 2.5 goals after 16 minutes at 0-0. So I'm going to try that this weekend. It's a very interesting tool. But you have to do the research for the match first and then go in play afterwards. So Laval and Amiens, a match I would never ordinarily look at. You can immediately get a glance at what's going on. It's a very in-depth report. So I'm providing these for members of footballtradingprofits.com tomorrow on every single Elite League match and on all of the major matches on today's coupon. This covers everything. I like the strengths and weaknesses. I like the keynotes. You're not going to see pre or post Champions League for the League 2, but this is what the keynotes are for. Tell you about new managers. No indication of manager change, so that's fine. I've asked AI to look for new managers, look for pre and post Champions League, look for any injuries as well to major players. We've got key players as well. So if this player gets injured, for example, any of these players get injured, that might significantly change the complexion of the match. Head-to-heads as well, all about the timing of the last head-to-head. They have to be up to date. That's 2025. So that is quite up to date. Key stats and trends as well. I have checked, and I think it is very accurate. I've asked AI to double check all of the information. So I will be spitting out these as and when I can on all sorts of matches. And it will be particularly important for the live stream tomorrow, where I can have a look at a match immediately and get a lowdown on the statistical lookout of the match. So this is the best app I've created so far. It's the most useful app. The information it provides is extremely accurate and well thought out as well. It's up to you whether you agree with AI or not. So if you've liked all of those green screens you've seen, we've got a very enticing 2025 offer, 14-day free trial. And I hope I can pass on some of this to you. This is all real money in real markets, real trading. So that's my job. I trade every single Telegram play. So I feel the pain when I get a loser, and I know what to do after we get a loser. So if you fancy a bit of that, 2025 offer, footballtradingprofits.com/2025 offer. Look forward to seeing you. We're in a good bit of form at the moment. Just want to keep that going. If you're up and about, youtube.com/@footballtradingprofits for a live stream tomorrow. I might open it up to all to view. They have been pretty good. I'm only doing them on Saturdays at the moment because Sundays football is just not good enough. So if you want to capture a live stream, they're about 2.5 hours long from 2:30 p.m. covering the Germans, all of the English, all the way up to 5 p.m. Really good stuff. Great to see so many people coming along as well. And I hope you can join. There'll be one tomorrow. I will leave you now. with quite a long e-letter, but there's plenty to talk about. And I look forward to seeing you at YouTube and maybe at Football Trading Profits. See you for next week's e-letter.